Good evening, Peters Township. Welcome to our Character Counts Awards ceremony for the fall. My name is Jeff Vanderhoff, and I'm a pastor at Trinity United Methodist Church here in McMurray. My co-host for the evening is Brad Sommerfelt, who is the Director of Junior High Ministries at the Bible Chapel, and we are here tonight to kind of MC and keep things running smoothly. As we begin, I want to talk just briefly about what Character Counts is all about and why we do what we do. And in order to do that, I'd like you to indulge me in watching a visual illustration, the principle of which was reportedly first discovered by Aristotle a long time ago, and which has been worked into an optical illusion by a magician, and I will share that with you. This little black and yellow disc is something that reveals and teaches an incredibly important principle. And I hope that you'll watch closely for a moment as I do this little illustration for you. I'm going to spin it. And what I want you to do while I spin it is focus your attention right on the center of the wheel. As you focus your attention there, don't look away, try not to blink, and just focus right here. After about 30 seconds, I'll lead you in a countdown, 10, 9, 8. Count with me or I'll look like an idiot. Count with me. When we get to 1, I'm going to lower it and have you stare at my nose. And I promise you, if you've looked here for 30 seconds and then stare at my nose, you will see my head blow up like a balloon. It's really neat. It's an optical illusion. Watch carefully. Go. 30 seconds is all it takes. Watch carefully as the wheel spins around and around in the center. Keep watching. Don't look away. Try not to blink. If you have to blink, that's okay. Just make sure that when you open your eyes, you're once again staring at the center of the wheel. Keep watching just a few more seconds. We'll count down together from 10. When we get to 1, I will lower the wheel, have you stare at my nose, and you will see my head blow up like a balloon. Focus your attention. 10 more seconds. Count with me now, starting at the number. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stare at my nose. Did you see it blow up? Yeah, it's a neat. It is a really neat optical illusion that takes place. They say that Aristotle did not use it for a parlor trick, but rather that he was one day deep in thought near a waterfall, and he was just kind of staring off at the waterfall, and it was moving, and he wasn't focused on that, but just kind of watching it in this blank stare. And when he did focus again and he looked at his hand, he saw his hand moving, although it wasn't, and he reportedly discovered that principle. But I share it with you tonight because it teaches us another principle. It's what I call the principle of focus. And here it is. What we choose to focus on changes the way we see things. It really does. 30 seconds of you choosing to focus on that wheel changed the way you saw my head. Even though my head didn't change, your perception of it did. Because when we choose to focus, we change the way we see things. And what we believe as Character Counts as an organization is that when we can change the way that we see things, we might also be able to change the way that others see things. And if we can change the way that others see things, we might just change the world, one life at a time. And that is our focus tonight, is to focus our attention as a community on several individuals who have been nominated because they have character that has been demonstrated and shown and recognized by others. And so we're here tonight to share the 20th year of our awards for Character Counts, and our nominees begin with Michelle Fagan and Angela Eloise. And as we say your names, would you please work your way over here and walk up onto the stage while we read the nice things that people said about you. These folks were nominated by Stephanie Ali. Michelle and Angela exemplify kindness to the full extent of the word. They consistently volunteer at Pleasant Valley to help with any school event. Both Michelle and Angela show their appreciation to staff throughout the year by providing lunches and other tokens of appreciation. They are always smiling, friendly, and willing to help in any way they can, and often go out of their way to do so. Both ladies show how much they value and appreciate education and also character development. Michelle and Angela deserve to know how much their character truly counts.
Our second nominee for tonight is Kimberly DeSalvo, and she was nominated by Blair Storr. This is what Blair had to say about Kimberly. Kimberly, a fifth grade teacher at McMurray Elementary, is known to be a kind and compassionate person. On a day in September, she noticed that one of her students was choking on his snack in her class. She quickly took action by performing the Heimlich maneuver on her student and dislodged the food that was blocking his airway. Because of her quick action, she assisted a student in need that may have required much more invasive medical assistance had she not exhibited her care and responsibility for her students' well-being.
Our next nominee is Chip Groff, bus driver, nominated by Johnny Miller and Tracy Bedoli. Mr. Miller nominated Chip with the following words. Mr. Groff drives my daughter's bus. One morning she was crossing the street to board the bus, and a car speeding on McMurray Road was about to hit her. The driver showed no signs of stopping for the bus. Thank God Mr. Groff was alert. He laid on the horn, and the driver slammed on the brakes and narrowly avoided what would have undoubtedly been a tragedy. We are deeply grateful for Mr. Groff's act of service, and submitting this nomination is an honor and the least that we could do. Mrs. Bedoli, who oversees the transportation department, added these comments in her own nomination. Luckily, Chip was focused on wind and laid on the horn and yelled for her to run. The car just missed her. Immediately, her mom called me, clearly shaking, to fill me in on what a great driver we had. Thursday morning, the family gave Chip a note to express their gratitude. I wanted to share this story as he is one of the many caring drivers we have here at Peters Township that take care of our students daily while out struggling with the traffic construction and daily commuters.
Our fourth nominee for tonight is Jocelyn Lynch, and she was nominated by Christian Lesnett. This is what Christian had to say about her. Jocelyn first came to Peters Township Character Counts last year with a heart for helping students who have faced bullying and isolation. At her first PTCC meeting, she asked the group if we were currently championing any anti-bullying initiatives to help. When the first school district decided to sign up with Rachel's Challenge, they came to the PTCC to assist in hosting a community-wide event to support the initiative. Jocelyn jumped on this opportunity and took the lead on coordinating meetings, setting agendas, creating fundraising strategies, and delegating supporting roles to many of our volunteers. Due in part to her efforts, our community was able to experience a wonderful event and fully embrace Rachel's Challenge. We are grateful for her character and commitment.
Our next nominee is Shelley Belcher, nominated by Michelle Fagan. She says, being able to work with Shelley on various projects has given our family insight into how much she does for our community. She is honest in meeting with parents at PTA meetings, responsible in running communications for the entire township, and honest in how she responds and believes in what is best for our students, parents, and staff.
Our next nominee is Caroline and Elizabeth Watson. They were nominated by Jeannie Walk and Heidi Colombo. This is what they had to say about Caroline and Elizabeth. Caroline and Elizabeth have been coming to our second grade inclusion classroom for 3.5 years to volunteer. They come to Pleasant Valley 2 or 3 times a week after their high school days finished up to help our students meet success in language arts and math. Weekly, the girls help the students during our writing workshop time. It is through their kindness and patience that the students get one-on-one attention as they work on paragraph and writing skills. We are especially impressed that these girls are able to help us even though they participate in many after-school sports activities.
The next nominee is Michelle Chenevert, French teacher, nominated by Shannon Nardello. Despite only working part-time, Michelle Chenevert has proven her character in the 3 short years she has been in the district. As a graduate of Peters Township High School, Michelle chose to move back to the community and raise her family in the school district she loves. Not only does she demonstrate respect, responsibility, and honesty, Michelle teaches these invaluable traits to her students. As a French teacher, Michelle strives to teach students respect for other cultures. She single-handedly organized a field trip for both middle school and high school students to have the true experience of a French restaurant, working with the staff to ensure they only interact with the students in the target language during the meal. This field trip also let students talk with the waitstaff to learn about their experiences emigrating from France to the United States. Moreover, Michelle organized a summer trip for high school students to experience the Francophone community of Quebec City. She emphasized the importance of the province's history and how it influenced the history of the United States. As if that weren't enough, Michelle's next project involves inviting French students from Bordeaux to Peters Township as a cultural exchange in October 2019. Michelle teaches her students responsibility by creating service learning projects with Midwives for Haiti, a public health charity in Haiti. She empowers them to be responsible for their impact on the world by letting the students choose what types of activities they could do to support the organization for their partnership. She inspires students to take on leadership roles themselves in planning service activities and fundraisers. Because of Michelle's service learning project, the students are able to see from start to finish the kind of influence they can have on the world. Michelle teaches students honesty each and every day by demonstrating her own integrity. This trust she shares with her students makes Michelle a truly remarkable teacher.
Our next nominee is Adam Swinchuk, and he was nominated by Adam Sikorsky. This is what Mr. Sikorsky had to say about Adam. Adam goes above and beyond his duties as the district technology director. The parents, students, and staff of Peters Township should be extremely grateful to have such a caring and creative person within this position. Mr. Swinchock has done an incredible job introducing new technologies to our school. Because of Adam, we have been able to provide our students with Chromebook carts, iMac labs, EV3 robots, humanoid robots, virtual reality, iPod touches, vinyl cutter, and heat press, and the list goes on and on. His job is extremely overwhelming, and he always completes tasks with a warm, friendly smile on his face. There are countless lessons, activities, events which take place at PTMS, which would be not possible without the behind-the-scenes action of Mr. Swinchock. He is hardworking, kind, creative, responsible, and passionate. He's a true asset to this district.
Next nominee is Judd Emery, School Resource Officer, nominated by Adam Sikorsky. Officer Emery is the new School Resource Officer at the middle school. While it is certainly comforting to know that an armed officer is present within the building to provide law enforcement services, it is Officer Emery's approach to the role which certainly makes him deserving of a Character Counts Award. Officer Emery has already become an integral part of our school culture. He greets students with a friendly smile each morning as they get off of their buses and has become a familiar face within the school. Officer Emery eats lunch daily with students in the cafeteria, an opportunity which allows him to get to know the students on a personal level and to develop positive relationships. In fact, students argue over who gets to sit with him at lunch each day. Officer Emery is walking our hallways, helping to open lockers, and escorting lost students to their desired locations. He is highly visible within the school, which is so critically important for his role as School Resource Officer. He is the perfect balance of being a strong physical presence who also cares deeply for kids and goes out of his way to make their days positive and successful.
Our next nominee is Rich Flick, and he was nominated by Shelley Belcher. This is what she had to say about Rich. Rich has played a vital role in school safety through his position in the maintenance department by helping us to make and distribute the lockdown devices for all classrooms in the district. But his help always goes a step further. He personally delivers each device and will train the staff on how to use them. He also goes a step further to troubleshoot any issues and come up with creative solutions for safety when needed. Best of all, he does it all with a smile. And I am grateful to have Rich as a part of our team.
The next nominees are Bob Mary, Randy Campbell, Denny Sitchie, Matt Post, Matt Valentino as the Bower Hill custodial team, nominated by Karen Lingus and Deanna Gallagher. What do you think of when we say custodian? That's the job where you spend the entire shift cleaning up after other people, and sometimes some not so nice things. Have you ever met Bob, Matt, Randy, and Denny, the custodial team at Bower Hill? You may, of course, see them sweeping the floor or cleaning up a mess in the hall, lunchroom, or classroom. But what they do goes way beyond what you may assume or expect. Did you know they are often greeting our kids with a gentle smile and a friendly hello, while also paying attention to see everything and everyone that walks through those front doors during arrival and dismissal? Safety and security in our building is a big priority for them. Do you ever wonder if your child is eating in the cafeteria alone? Well, when the custodians are in the cafeteria doing their more typical job duties, they are also engaging with our children who may need a friend or may be having a bad day. Yes, they are able to recognize this because they take the time to know our children, to talk to our children, and to care about our children. Have you seen them helping during PTA events? The PTA would not be able to function without their help. Even though PTA events mean more mess for them to clean up, not once did we feel as though we were an unwanted presence. In fact, just the opposite. Questions like, what do you need? What can I get for you? Need more tables for the book fair? Not a problem. Need to turn the cafeteria into the bistro setup in less than 20 minutes? No worries. They can always handle it, and with a smile. They are a huge part of the school and continually go above and beyond for the good of our students. They are even willing to be placed in the dunk tank or be a conductor for the Polar Express train for the holidays. Above and beyond is just their norm. Always there and always willing to help no matter what is asked. They consistently open doors for you when you're entering the building with your hands full of supplies for an event or when going through with your child. On rainy days, they are ready to help with umbrellas as you attempt to get to your car. Always supportive when you have a last-minute change of plans and all hands need to be on deck to get something done. Another example of going the extra mile was Bower Hill Day back in June. This event is a huge production for the kids to enjoy the last days of school, and due to a change in the weather prediction, it was decided to switch from an indoor event this year to an outdoor event first thing the morning of, and the crew jumped right in and worked to make sure things were just right for the kids to enjoy one of their favorite days of the school year. Gentlemen, thank you for making Bower Hill not just a great place for our kids, but also a welcoming place to volunteer. Bob, Matt, Randy, and Denny not only excel at their job, but take it a step further and have been promoting Rachel Scott's message of being kind and truly caring long before it was brought to PTSD. So, Peters Township, we challenge you, please take the time to thank the custodial staff at Bower Hill.
Well, this concludes tonight's ceremony. Before I ask all of the nominees to come back up for one final picture, I do want to say I don't have a magic trick or some type of cool thing, but I do want to tell a story to wrap this up. It's a personal story. When I was 17 years old, my parents moved away, and I just graduated high school, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I decided that I was going to try to work and live in that town, but my parents had moved away about 12 hours. As I tried to work and figure out my life, I was not succeeding in my job, and at one point I didn't have a job. So I couldn't pay the bills. I couldn't pay my car payment, and I ended up sleeping in my car. And there was this man that saw me down on my luck, and he brought me into his house. And I lived with him and his family for about 3 months. But during that time, all he did was to help me with my resume, help me figure out what I wanted to do, and I honestly believe that one of the reasons why I ended up getting my degree and I'm standing here before you is because of this man and the kindness that he showed me. And so I want to encourage you by saying you don't know the significance of the actions you have. As you've heard tonight, all of the amazing things that these normal people do has an impact on the community around us. And as a part of Character Counts, this is what we firmly believe, that all of our actions can have a positive effect on this community. So I'd like to encourage you, do something this week. One act of kindness towards somebody that you see on a regular basis, because you don't know what that it could impact. And with that, I would like to ask the nominees to come back up for a picture. And as they come up, I would like to thank everybody for attending tonight. And we thank you for the refreshments. Mary Lou, I believe, if I said that right. Yes, thank you, Mary Lou, for the refreshments. And nominees, you can come on up for the picture, and we'll take that photo this time. And after the picture, I'd like to invite you to enjoy some of those refreshments and hang around and talk for a little while.